My name is Karim ElSamman. I am working as strategic business consultant 3 with Appficiency. I have been with Appficiency for almost 2 years and a half, but I have experience in NetSuite for almost 5 years or over. I have NetSuite Suite Foundation Certificate. I have NetSuite Administrator Certificate. I have NetSuite ERP Consultant Certificate, Financial User, and the Suite Analytics Certificate. I have and the Revenue Recognition Certificate. I have implemented NetSuite for more than 30 projects in different industries, in food and beverage, in manufacturing, in construction, in distribution, in fashion industry. Yeah, that's me. Our BHAG customer today is based in Canada and the United States. They are in the telecommunication and VoIP industry. They provide cloud services, they provide open source solutions and hardware rentals. And they are one of the biggest companies in the telecommunication, and they have been in the business for more than 40 years. They have many users, they have more than 70 users. They have more than 5 subsidiaries around the globe. So it's a big company. So our BHAG customer has a very complex business process because they have many users. Their processes are all interconnected with each other and dependent on each other. They have different system integration. They have more than 5 system integration. Each system is automating a specific process, and they all flow to NetSuite. And also they have a very high volume of transactions. They process more than 10,000 invoices in less than a year. They have more than 12,000 customers. So their business is really big. They have a complex processes. And one of their main concerns were that they might have one customer with multiple locations, but they need to consolidate the invoices per location or per customer. So let's say if a customer has 3 locations, he might have 5 invoices generated for each location. So the customer want to see only one invoice for this location, but with everything in these 5 invoices. Some other customer may have a different requirement that they want to see all the invoices for all the location only for the parent or the main customer. This was one of the challenges, which make it more complex, that they want to calculate the invoice print fees. They charge fees for the invoices for some customers, and for some customers they charge check processing fees, and for some other customers they charge both, and they also charge late payment fees, which is a percentage of the late amount and over a specific period of time. All this, this was all being done manually. So if someone generating an invoice, they will need to go in, check the locations, check the customer requirements, and then they generate the invoice and they check if they have to do like an invoice print fees, for example, or a check processing fees, and then they consider it, and then they need to compute the late payment fees manually. But after we solutioned this with them, we gathered all the business information and business use cases that they need, and with our knowledge in Appficiency on how to solve this, we automated this with them. So in Appficiency, we solution this carefully and make this tailored experience to the customer. So we didn't do something generic. We made something tailored to the customer, tailored to their business needs, and to make the user's life easy and simple. So, and also this was a collaboration between 3 teams in NetSuite, in Appficiency. The developer team, the team who was responsible for the invoicing part, and the team who was responsible for the finance part. We all collaborated together to get this solution The first thing we did is we solutioned the consolidated invoice and the printout for the consolidated invoice and how they can consolidate it through some custom records and script and some custom fields on the customer record. So they can easily change one customer. They might need that they have the consolidated invoice based on location for the customer. They can change it easily. They don't need to go back to the code, or they don't need like a coding experience. It's very easy and simple. Just change it from the customer record. And also, if the customer wants the invoice to be consolidated on a specific date, this is also done on the customer record. Also, one of these, what I would say is a good point about this solution, that it can go through the same approval process as normal invoice for the users to review before sending it out to the customer. After we get this solution up and running, we started solutioning the rest of the requirements, which were the print fees, check processing fees, and late payment fees. We had created this script, and it's also based on some values on the customer record, so they can check if this customer is to compute check processing fees or invoice printing fees. And we also create the custom field on the customer record, so they can easily change the value of the check printing fees and the invoice printing fees without the need to go back either to Appficiency or another developer, or go back to someone with a coding experience. Everything can be managed totally from the UI. Once the checkbox for the compute check processing fees or invoice print fees is checked, and there's a value for the amount, and the invoice is created. Once the consolidated invoice is created, there are two invoices that will be created based on the checkboxes, one for the invoice print fees and one for the check processing fees, and they will be part of this consolidated invoice. So the customer doesn't have to receive multiple invoices, and it will be for specific item to hit specific GL account, and also we will have our description clearly defined that this is the check processing fees and this is the print fees. For the invoice printing late payment fees, the customer wanted to have a grace period. Let's say 10 days grace period. After the 10 days grace period, they want to calculate the late payment fees 20% or 18% of the paid amount, and then add it to the next consolidated invoice. The script now captures the payment that's done, and the grace period will be counted from the due date of the consolidated invoice. So if a customer has a consolidated invoice, let's say for $1,000, and it was due 1st of Jan, and the grace period is 10 days, and the customer paid within the 10 days, there will be no late payment fees invoice generated. If the customer paid after the 10 days grace period, the script will run and calculate this print fees, and then it will be added to the next consolidated invoice based on the late payment fees percentage multiplied by the paid amount, and then they divide it by the total the 365 days, and then multiplied by the number days late, because they don't want to charge the customer for, they want to charge like specifically based on the days late. This was the solution, and it was a huge collaboration between Appficiency team, sharing knowledge and sharing experiences, solving similar issues with previous customers. And this was tailored to them because they can change the grace period without being going into the code, or without going back to the to Appficiency. They can change the late payment percentage without going back to Appficiency, without going back or having any knowledge with coding. They can also change the item that being on that will be generated on the invoice. So if in the future they had a new requirement to change the GL account, they can do this easily. If they want to change the item, if they want to change anything, that's easily done from the UI without the need of going back to the to a code or someone who is expert in NetSuite. That's the most important thing with the automation and customization, not to tie the client to someone or to code experience, but to make the customer independent user, they can manipulate or change the need very easily. This is the trick here. And the customer was really satisfied with this, and we are now working with them on a huge automation for fixed asset rental automation, which is really huge. And I just want to go back again to this solution. It saved them huge amount of time and a tremendous effort, because they were doing all these steps manually with the high volume of transactions, more than 10,000 invoices in less than a year, and with more than 12,000 customers. This is a huge effort we saved to them.